So what's up, guys? Earlier I posed a question. I posted a picture of table sugar and also 1 cup of brown rice. Now, 50 grams or 12 teaspoons of sugar is equal to 200 calories or contains 200 calories. 1 full cup of cooked brown rice also contains 200 calories. Now, in realistic terms, what I was asking is, what is the real difference between the two if they both have 200 calories? Which would you choose to eat? And is there a time that they would be, maybe one would be preferable over the other? So what I'm trying to teach you now is trying to break down carbohydrates, complex and simple carbohydrates. Break it down and try to explain it very simply. Okay, so if you have the sugar and the rice both equal 200 calories, what is the main difference? The main difference itself is the rate at which your body can digest it and take it up into the bloodstream versus how fast you are burning sugar off. You store sugar in muscle, you store sugar in your liver, and if both of those are full at the time that you eat or you have carbohydrates, any overflow will be stored as fat. So, always use the analogy of think of your muscles and your liver as a sponge. Now, if you filled a sponge up with water, you stuck it in a drain rack, it would naturally, gravity would take over, it would drip out. It would slowly drain out. So think of that if you don't have a very active day like me. I'm sitting in my chair all day driving a boat. I'm not very physically active, so I'm not burning. I burn a lot because I have some muscle tissue, but I'm not burning any excess from activity. So what happens is that when you eat all that sugar, it's broken down very fast, super fast, and spikes your blood sugar. So anytime that your blood sugar gets over 110, that's an emergency situation for your body. It needs to get that excess sugar out of your blood as soon as possible. So it's going to try to go to 3 different places. It's going to try to go to liver. It's going to try to go to muscle. If liver's full, if muscle tissue is completely full, then all that excess is going to go into fat stores. Okay, so, like I said, it all comes down to the rate of digestion. That rice will break down very slowly. It's very hard for it to break down in comparison. If you put that sugar in your mouth, it basically liquefies. So, put that common sense into it. It digests and gets to the bloodstream a lot faster than the rice. It's more of a slow release. It doesn't hit your blood all at one time. So it's less likely to be stored as fat because, again, your body's burning off sugar very slowly just throughout your day. Now, is there any times where you could, let's say, get away with having that sugar, or you would be less susceptible? It would be more okay to have that sugar as opposed to the rice. And this is also a fact. The rice would keep you more full longer because it's more satiating. It takes longer to break down. It will stay with you longer. So that would be another reason why it would be a better choice. You wouldn't be hungry near as fast. Okay, so would there be a time you could get away with it, or maybe it would be preferable? Okay, let's say pre-workout, if you haven't had a meal. I use Phorm. A lot of times I'll use my Ignition, my post-workout stack. It's on the label. Also, it can be used as a pre-workout, that fast digesting protein, and also Ignition, which is basically powdered glucose. So you're going to need energy to fuel that workout. So if you wanted to have something highly sugary, highly refined, something that breaks down really fast, then you could go with that right before your workout. And then while you're training, you're burning off a shit ton of calories. You're burning off a lot of sugar in the muscle while you're training. So if there was also some food that was highly sugary, say you wanted to have some ice cream, you wanted to have a pizza or something like that, the best time would be immediately after your workout. Now, I don't, advise that, but if you were going to have a cheat day, instead of binging and you just needed to keep something in your diet, you just had to have it, or otherwise you were going to binge and fucking eat anything and everything. Then that would be a time where it would have less of an impact on you than other times throughout your day. You guys know I use, my Formula 1 and Ignition immediately post-workout. So anyway, I hope this has helped you guys. It's just another way I wanted to pose a question, get people involved, try to get people to answer questions, and find a way that may be fun and interesting for me to be able to try to make something that's highly complicated as simple as possible. So it really comes down to the rate at which the foods are digesting, and also the combinations, because again, like I talked about protein, anytime you add protein in with the meal, it's all going down in the same hole. As I say, it will slow down the digestion rate of any carbohydrates that you have eaten. Thanks for listening, guys.